Hi everyone. Today we will talk about the most bizarre sayings that when you tell them or when you say them in English, it doesn't make any sense.
They sound ridiculous. For example, what I used to hear so often was, "Don't teach your father how to make children." I'm like, "Oh, Dad, I was just suggesting another route to IKEA. Why we have to get sexual about it? What is going on? Why we have to get so intimate?" But that's basically when you think about it, it makes sense because it means don't try to teach more experienced person about something,
Yeah,
which
absolutely.
it makes sense, but come on, a bit weird.
I think what my parents was saying mostly, it's like when you wanted to dispute something and you try to convince them to do something or and then they will just shut you up saying children and fish don't have a voice.
Yeah, like thanks, mom.
What the heck?
You in the same category as a coat. Come on.
What do you mean I don't have a voice?
Everyone has a voice, but that's the thing. That would be like that would be end of conversation.
Cut off. Your opinion doesn't matter because you are a kid. So shut up.
And if you try to argue at all, then they will hit you with something completely dark. When my eyes will close, your will open.
But
Funeral vibes, but okay, why we have to go there?
I think it was more like when mom was doing everything in the house and she was just exhausted, and then she will threaten you. You go for it. I'm doing everything in the house. When I will not be here, you will suffer. Then you will appreciate me. I think that's what the saying was all about. When my eyes will close, yours will open.
Yeah, but that sounds very like morbid. Like, come on, that's a little bit drastic.
Scary, scary.
However, we not all of our sayings are drastic. Some of them are just point blank ridiculous.
I remember what my dad was saying when again there was some conversations or anything about something, and then my dad will say, "You jumped out like Philip out of the hemp."
Anything? Who the fuck
Jump
is
out.
Philip?
Who is Philip? Why is he jumping out of hemp?
But you know what? I actually looked into this one because I was thinking, like, where does it come from? It actually comes from that, like in like folklore Poland, there was like
There was
some
a Philip,
there was a
and he was
Philip.
jumping from the hemp, right?
No, there was hemps, like hemp fields, and they were quite known that when the hunters would have like a beaters. Beater is a person who like makes sure that all of the animals will like go towards the hunter. So they would basically hide in a hemp and they would jump and they would scare animals towards the
Oh,
hunters.
okay.
So that actually
But
makes more
imagine
sense,
these
yeah.
days if you would hear about a Philip jumping out from some bushes or anywhere, it
Well,
would be a bit creepy, right?
yeah,
I don't want anybody to jump out at
and
me, but that's what it was when
yeah.
when somebody was just talking complete nonsense.
Something ridiculous. Like we would be
Yeah.
talking about, I don't know, we're talking about the sayings, and then someone comes out, uh, yeah,
And the
and
sky is
it's blue,
blue.
and we're like, okay, it,
How
it
is this related
it
to
is blue,
anything?
but all right.
Where are you coming from?
Well, my personal favorite, that's the funniest thing is, was when my mom would say, "Don't sit on the cold, you will get a wolf."
Everybody said that.
A wolf?
My grandmother say, "Don't sit on the concrete because you will get the wolf."
But how ridiculous is that?
It's just stupid.
It's so funny. Like if you're gonna sit in the cold, then the wildlife is gonna come into me and I'm gonna become a wolf, or is the wolf gonna hunt me? But again, that comes out to the people in folklore. They actually call the disease like an
Wolf?
infection, like an infection.
Wolf infection. Okay.
They called it a wolf because it was red and bumpy and whatever. It was actually known. That's why they called it a wolf.
Okay.
So that's what they said. You're gonna get a wolf, and it was like some sort of like hemorrhoids or something like that, more or
Yeah.
less.
I think it just was more like don't sit on the concrete floor or
Yeah,
just like on the
it's
ground
like my
because you will catch cold
it's like my favorite, like cover kidneys. Like what I said in previous
all
episode,
the
my
time.
grandma was saying. Yeah,
And here we got yet another one. What does the gingerbread got to do with a windmill? What?
Exactly. What does it have to do? Sounds
Nothing.
ridiculous, which is what it is. You say it like if I would say something in a conversation, and my mom would be like, "What does the gingerbread have to do with the windmill?" And you're like, "I wasn't talking about it, but that's the whole point. Makes no sense. What you're saying makes no sense. It's like a gingerbread and a windmill. Very interesting." connection, but hey ho. But also, if you were a kid and if you would try to be like a bit dramatic, you would say, like my mom would say, "Ah, don't make the pitchfork out of a needle." And you're like,
Yeah,
okay.
you are just exaggerating the whole situation.
Yeah, you're just
You
exaggerating.
make it bigger than it is.
I think the English version is making the mountain out of molehill. That's actually
Maybe, yes.
that's actually the English sort of like translation to it. But I don't know. I think Polish parents just decided to go with the farming.
With the farming and some gingerbread, all
Uh,
makes sense.
all makes perfect sense. Good.
And another thing which parents would say to the children when they are in suffer, when something happened to you, when you had an accident or incident on the playground, they would just shut everything off with saying, if the little goat didn't jump, it wouldn't break its leg. Can
Yeah.
I have a plaster, at least?
Yeah, but that's the thing. You would come back to the house crying, mom.
What did you do? What did you do? Oh, you went on that sling. That's what happens to you. If the little goat didn't jump, it wouldn't break its leg. Seriously?
I'm looking for a sympathy, not another animal anecdote. I just want a compassion. But okay, I get a goat story. Fine.
No, as we know in Poland, there is no compassion, there is no empathy.
I actually don't agree with you because there's one really great one. If you would if if you would hurt yourself, the parents will come back to you and say, it will heal by the wedding.
It will heal by the wedding. So basically, you know what? Just you fall down, get up, keep going.
Yes, because it will heal by another big event. So it's not that serious. Nothing to worry about. But yes, some of our phrases sound absolutely ridiculous.
And that was the only episode about what parents was telling to their children in most of the cases. So
And we have more of the episodes coming with a bit more dramatic ones and
so
funny
watch the
ones.
space. See you next time.
And tell us actually in the comments, what are your phrases? Do you, if you're from a different country, do you have any of your crazy ones? I heard that in Australia they say we don't come here to fuck with the spiders. Is that true?
Or do you?
Or do you?